about the newspaper.
This is a YouTube video posted last month by Wylie Mayor Eric Hogue, also a preacher at Cottonwood Church of Christ.
Or the latest scandal of a politician.
Now he is that politician in the headlines.
It's been honestly very nasty.
The last 24 hours, Hogue has received nonstop messages after an email was posted between him and another member of City Council. The conversation was about local students leading prayer at the next City Council meeting. The mayor wrote, "I would like that. All I ask is those leading the public prayer be young men."
If I'm asked my opinion, I'm going to state my opinion. And that's what I did in that email.
He referenced 2 verses in the Bible. "Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak." But he says he isn't anti-women either.
I believe a lady can do anything. But I also, in this one area, believe that this way.
The story is lighting up social media. Most disagree with him, saying he should be fired. But there are those in support of the mayor, Stacy saying women can pray, but men lead prayer. And then comments in the middle, Jennifer suggesting, can we talk about the needs of the town and not pull faith into it?
This chamber is not Hogue's church. And he needs to remember that, or he needs to go.
Debbie O'Reilly, president of Women Organizing Women Democrats, says they will protest outside of City Council chambers on Tuesday.
We're not protesting anyone's religion. We are not protesting his personal views. The way he conducts his life at his church or in his home is, of course, his business. But we're protesting the divisive and misogynistic attitude of this leader.
The mayor says women have led prayers in the 12 years he's been in office, but he hasn't said anything about it until now.
Why can't I have my choice too?
In Wylie, I'm Tiffany Liu.